destroyed their ships. Today.
Where you are.
Forever.
Strong, furl sail and strike.
Strike water! Strike water! Lands but the ones they've stolen. Call it peace. Diddy and Africa Nova. He is no god. We've nothing to fear. But we are.
Gladiators II, the opening text states how, 16 years after the death of Marcus Aurelius, Rome has been run by corrupt twin emperors, Geta and Caracalla. His dream of Rome has fallen and the city is set to go down as well. Numidia, 200 AD, a young man, Lucius Verus Aurelius, living as Hanno, tends to his crops along with his wife. Arashit they witness smoke and fire from the nearby gates, indicating a call to battle. They suit up and join their fellow warriors against General Acacius and his Roman army. Lucius and Arashat put up a good fight, but Acacius spots Arashat firing her bow and arrow, and he commands his men to kill her. She is fatally hit with an arrow and falls into the ocean, while Lucius is also knocked out into the water. He finds himself between life and death, watching Arashat joining the ferryman into the afterlife, while he is pulled back to life.
My lady,
I thank the gods.
with me.
Let me feed you.
Lucius is enslaved alongside the surviving soldiers and citizens, while the city is taken. Acacius returns to Ostia and is rewarded by Geta and Caracalla. Geta tells Acacius that they have their sights set on conquering Persia and India next, while Acacius believes they should be focused on the citizens of Rome. Geta denies Acacius time away with his wife and makes plans with Caracalla for gladiator games in the Colosseum. Lucius and the other slaves are brought to Antium in an arena overseen by a stablemaster named Macrinus. The slaves are forced into combat against feral baboons. The Numidian chieftain Jubartha, who was brought in with Lucius, chooses death in the arena and lets a baboon tear into his neck.
Remarkable!
Congratulations. From where do you hail?
His native tongue is all he...
Open night and day, the scent. To come back is in this, the time.
To amuse you,
We're seeing your poet.
do I? Vigo? In Africa, I know that. Who taught you poetry?
I was posted guard over him.
And what became of the
Barbarians do. Why does my past matter?
Lucius fights one baboon and bites its arm before strangling it to death with his shackles. Macrinus quickly takes notice and later pits Lucius in hand-to-hand combat against gladiator trainer Vigo, further impressing Macrinus with his fighting skills. Macrinus notes the rage that Lucius lives with, and Lucius states that he has his sights set on killing Cassius. Macrinus promises he can do this if he fights hard enough in Rome.
Hail Caesar! What?
Cassius returns to his wife, the remarried Lucilla. He expresses his disgust in seeing how many soldiers are being sacrificed for the twin emperors' need for conquests. Together they plan an insurrection alongside their allies like Gracchus. Macrinus brings Lucius to a party in the city, thrown by Senator Thraex. In front of the emperors and other members of the Senate, Lucius is pitted against another fighter for their entertainment. He tries to stop the other man, but is forced to fight and eventually impale the man. Geta approaches Lucius and asks him a question, but Lucius only responds by quoting Virgil. "The gates of hell are open night and day. Smooth the descent and easy the way. But to return and view the cheerful skies, in this the task and mighty labor lies." The gladiator games commence with Lucius and others brought into the Colosseum. Lucius runs the dirt in the arena through his hands, much like the late warrior Maximus did. This causes Lucilla to take notice and recognize Lucius. He and other gladiators are pitted against undefeated champion Glycio. He slaughters the other men while riding his pet rhino until he is left to fight Lucius. They have a brutal fight before Lucius is knocked down, and Geta gives Glycio a chance to spare Lucius. Rejecting this, Lucius continues the fight until he impales Glycio, and then gets the thumbs down signal to decapitate Glycio.
Geta will want you to learn to recite poetry.
Be seated.
After the fight, Lucilla goes to her private quarters and remembers hearing the quote from Virgil, then remembers sending Lucius away into exile as a boy for his safety. She tearfully realizes her son has returned, and Macrinus starts to put two and two together. Lucius befriends Ravi, a gladiator doctor, and learns of his lineage as Maximus's son from Lucilla, but anger clouds his judgment. A naval gladiator battle showcases Lucius's tactical brilliance, but a misfire stirs the wrath of Geta and Caracalla. Meanwhile, Macrinus manipulates events by exploiting Thrax's secrets, leading to Cassius and Lucilla's exposure. As punishment, Cassius faces the deadly games, setting the stage for betrayal and bloodshed in Rome. Lucius bonds with Ravi more and learns that he was a former slave who won his freedom after fighting in the games. Ravi shows Lucius the shrine to the gladiators, including a wall that has Maximus's name crossed off. But his armor and sword are still kept hung up privately, along with his words. What we do in this life echoes in eternity. Cassius battles the Praetorian Guard, defeating them all, but falls to Lucius, who spares him after hearing his heartfelt words about his family. Geta orders Acacius's brutal execution by arrows, prompting Lucius to condemn Rome's treatment of its heroes before storming off as the crowd chants his name. Macrinus confronts Lucius, questioning his mercy, and later manipulates Caracalla, fueling his resentment toward Geta. In a tense showdown, Caracalla, guided by Macrinus, kills Geta, ending with a bloody betrayal. Lucilla visits Lucius again to give him the ring that belonged to his grandfather. They reconcile, and Lucius hugs his mother for the first time in ages. Lucius then gives the ring to Ravi to deliver to a general in Ostia, so that his army might come to their aid. Caracalla takes over the throne and makes his first act to appoint his pet monkey, Dandas, as his consul, while having Macrinus in a higher position of power. Macrinus presents Geta's head to the other horrified senators after Caracalla leaves to establish why he must gain even more power, forcing them to vote him to lead the Praetorian Guard. Macrinus then goes to Lucilla's cell to talk to her about how her grandfather had him enslaved and how he plans to end the imperial bloodline by becoming emperor himself. Macrinus has Caracalla put Lucilla and the other conspirators out in the Colosseum, with only Lucius to defend her. The plan is to have the crowd riot if Lucilla really is killed, which would provide an opportunity to kill Caracalla and ascend to the throne. When Lucius learns that he must defend his mother, he breaks out of his cell and kills Vigo before the other slaves break out and revolt. Lucius then goes to take his father's armor and sword before leading the other men to take back their freedom. The gladiators battle the Praetorian soldiers in the arena, leading to a full-on riot as spectators become hit with arrows and start to fight back. Gracchus is also killed in the middle of the fight. In the chaos, Macrinus seizes the opportunity to stick a slender bodkin in Caracalla's ear to kill him, and then fire an arrow into Lucilla's chest before Lucius can save her. Macrinus then jumps on a horse to join the Praetorian Guard to face the incoming army at the gates. Lucius chases after Macrinus and corners him right as the two armies come face to face. Lucius then charges with his horse towards Macrinus, leading to their final duel. Macrinus nearly overpowers Lucius, but he remembers his mother's words and gains the upper hand. He chops off Macrinus's left arm before slashing him fatally. Lucius then addresses both armies and convinces them to no longer fight senselessly. They put their swords away and chant in agreement. 16 years after the death of Marcus Aurelius, twin emperors Geta and Caracalla rule Rome with corruption. Lucius, son of Maximus and Lucilla, is enslaved after Romans take his city and kill his wife Arishat. After he is forced to fight as a gladiator, he catches the attention of stablemaster Macrinus, a former slave with plans to conquer Rome. Lucius plans revenge against General Acacius, Lucilla's second husband, since it was under his command that Arishat was killed. Lucius demonstrates exceptional skill as a fighter in the gladiator games, with Lucilla attempting to reconnect with him after forcing him into exile. Meanwhile, Lucilla plots with Acacius and others to overthrow the emperors. One of Macrinus's men tells him about the plot, leading to Lucilla and Acacius to be arrested. Acacius is forced to fight against soldiers of the Praetorian Guard, killing them before facing Lucius. After seeing that Acacius is not as bad as he believed, Lucius chooses to spare his life, but Geta orders Acacius's execution. This leads the citizens to start to turn against the emperors. Macrinus uses this as an opportunity to convince Caracalla to kill Geta, while plotting to use Lucilla as bait in the games, as a ploy to kill Caracalla and take over the throne himself. Lucius breaks out of his cell and leads the other gladiators to defend Lucilla, leading to a battle against the Praetorian Guard. A riot ensues as spectators are hit by arrows. Macrinus seizes the chance to kill Caracalla and then shoot Lucilla with an arrow before Lucius can save her. Lucius chases after Macrinus as the Praetorian Guard is set to face an army that Lucius called for help. Lucius fights Macrinus and kills him before convincing both armies to stand down and no longer shed innocent blood. Lucius later goes to the arena to mourn his parents. Lucius breaks out of his cell and leads the other gladiators to defend Lucilla, leading to a battle against the Praetorian Guard. A riot ensues as spectators are hit by arrows. Macrinus seizes the chance to kill Caracalla and then shoot Lucilla with an arrow before Lucius can save her. Lucius chases after Macrinus as the Praetorian Guard is set to face an army that Lucius called for help. Lucius fights Macrinus and kills him before convincing both armies to stand down and no longer shed innocent blood. Lucius later goes to the arena to mourn his parents.
What to say other than we have all blood we spilled in the dream that would be